Welcome back. Now more from our utopia.
The pollution that blankets the valley derives from primary sources as well as secondary sources, the result of reactions creating different kinds of air pollution out of those primary sources. The tailpipes of cars, home heating, agricultural, industrial, and some natural sources are all examples of primary sources. But what happens when these primary sources interact with the environment and each other?
But then there are also chemical reactions that take all of those things that are being emitted, cook them just like you might cook food in a stew pot or something, and turns it into what we think of as secondary pollutants. And it's really the secondary pollutants that affect the visibility around here in a way that you can see it.
The importance of this study, along with others like it, is to create massive amounts of data that can then be placed into a complex model of the Salt Lake City air composition and content origination. These models would then act as predictors for proposed policies, which in theory would shape the direction of the debate and subsequent decisions.
We don't think that the discussion should end at the stage of monitoring, and in fact, it's a little too tempting for lawmakers, and in fact sometimes our public service groups, to think that if we just get more monitoring, that will solve the problem. Well, monitoring itself doesn't solve anything. It identifies and expands our awareness and our knowledge of the problem, but it doesn't exactly address the problem.
We are not policymakers, we are scientists. All we can do is provide the facts. But we hope that those observations will be used in atmospheric models that will be predictive of how effective different strategies for addressing the air quality issues will be.
At this point, I think it's really hard for me to say that, okay, this is to blame. However, when we do a complete analysis, and then I think then we will be able to really pinpoint to specific sources that are really important for reducing the pollution.
Basing policy decisions on science is something this program will continue to promote. The decision to conduct the Utah Winter Fine Particulate Study was a great step forward.
So, yes, we do need more money for monitoring, and we need good monitors, but we want to caution people to not accept adequate monitoring as the solution to the problem. That helps us identify the problem, but in and of itself, it doesn't solve anything.
A popular physicist once said, "The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it." And this summarizes why this air quality study is so important. Politicians may argue about the legislative solutions to the air quality problems, but with scientific data and information about the sources and composition of the pollution, the hope is that science will prevail in shaping policy.
A popular physicist once said, "The good thing about science is that it's true whether or not you believe in it." And this summarizes why the air quality study is so important. Politicians may argue about the legislative solutions to the air quality problems, but with scientific data and information about the sources and composition of the pollution, the hope is the science will prevail in shaping policy. Now don't go anywhere. When we come back, we will be hiking to the 5th Water Hot Springs, and you don't want to miss that.